Students, welcome to the second session of our third module. So, students, in this module, we are studying various type of multiple compression systems, multiple evaporator systems, and all. And students, in the previous session, we have studied two types of multiple compression system. First one was a two stage compression system uh, with first one was with a liquid intercooler, right? A liquid intercooler. So there we were able to reduce the work required in the compressor. And second one was a two-stage compression system with water intercooler and liquid subcooler. The water intercooler and a liquid subcooler. So two types of multi-stage compression system we have studied. So today we will learn a new technique called we are introducing a new device called flash cooler. Okay, a flash chamber. So third one, today we are going to learn a technique called two-stage compression with two-stage compression with water intercooler and a flash chamber. With a water intercooler and flash chamber. So students, I will give you a detailed study of flash chamber later in this session. Before that, I will teach you the working of the system. After giving a brief about the system, then we will go in detail with the flash chamber. What actually is a flash chamber? Okay. So students, so this is a schematic diagram representing a two-stage compression with water intercooler and a liquid subcooler and a liquid flash chamber. So students, you can see here a water intercooler, a liquid subcooler, and extra a flash chamber. So we have already learned a system with water intercooler and subcooler. And the second type was a system with water intercooler and subcooler. So here in between water intercooler and flash chamber, in between there is a liquid subcooler also. Okay, liquid subcooler and a liquid flash chamber or a liquid flash chamber. So in the second type we have learned, so the second type was a two-stage compression system with a water intercooler and a liquid subcooler, right? So the third type is we are adding a one more device called flash chamber. So this is a flash chamber. So if I add a flash chamber, what will be the working? So students, just concentrate. So this is the first point, the inlet to the low pressure compressor. So from low pressure compressor, the saturated vapor refrigerant. So here you can see. So a dry saturated vapor refrigerant is what is happening to that in that low pressure compressor. It is compressed to an intermediate pressure, the flash chamber pressure. Okay, this pressure is called flash chamber pressure, PF, flash chamber pressure. So what is happening to 1 to 2, an isentropic compression is taking place. So at this constant pressure, it is introduced to a water cooler, and in that water cooler it is cooled at a constant pressure PF. So you can see from 2 to 3, right? 2 to 3, it is cooled to a constant lower temperature T3. You can see T3, but same constant pressure PF, flash chamber pressure. From 3 to 4, what is happening? So in between 3 to 4, a particular stream is getting added, a a stream from flash chamber is coming and it is getting mixed with the intercooler or the desuperator. So what is happening here? It is getting desuperated to a lower temperature. 2 to 3 means temperature is getting lower. It means it is desuperated. So 3 to 4 a mixture is getting added. A mixture from flash chamber. You can see a mixture from flash chamber. So its mass is M3. So this mass is M1. Okay, with the M1 an M3 is getting added. M1 plus M3 is equal to M2. So a stream from flash chamber is getting added with the mixture that is coming from water intercooler. So what happens to this? What happens to the mixture coming from water cooler? It again gets what? It again gets cooled, desuperated. So 3 to 4, the temperature again gets lowered by mixing the stream from by mixing the stream coming from flash chamber. The temperature of the vapor, the high pressure vapor coming from water intercooler is again getting lower. Temperature is again getting lower to the 0.4. T4 is lower than T3. Okay. So again a desuperheating is happening. Okay. So from 3 to 4, refrigerant leaving the water in the cooler at 0.3 is mixed with the vapor refrigerant supplied by. So what is coming from here? Coming from flash chamber is nothing but a vapor refrigerant. Vapor refrigerant having a considerably lower temperature. So a little bit cooled vapor coming from flash chamber is getting mixed with the vapor coming from water intercooler. So what happens? The temperature gets even lower. Okay, even lower to a point T4. Now this T4 is getting compressed using isentropically compressed in a high pressure compressor 4 to 5. So that is happening here 4 to 5. And from 5 to 6, what is happening? 5 to 6, it is getting condensed in a constant pressure. Constant pressure, it is getting condensed. So at constant pressure 5 to 6, so it reaches saturated liquid state. From this saturated liquid state, it is passing through a liquid subcooler. It means it is again cooled to a temperature below T6. Below T6 means it is cooled to a temperature T7. So T7 means it is subcooled. It is subcooled. Okay. So subcooling takes place. Okay. So the mass flow rate is M2. So that you have to note down. So at a lower temperature T7, it passes through an expansion wall E1 so that its pressure and temperature gets reduced. So here you can see up to 8. It is so to what pressure it is getting lower? To the flash chamber pressure. So that flash chamber pressure is this. All these pressure are same. Okay, PF. So that intermediate pressure is flash chamber pressure. At that the liquid coming from the condenser is expanded to the flash chamber pressure. So both the pressure and temperature gets reduced. Okay, both the pressure and temperature get reduced to the pressure PF. To the pressure PF. So what is happening in the flash chamber flash chamber? So what is happening in the flash chamber? That is the important part of this this particular concept, this particular type, that type with two-stage compression with water and cooler, liquids of cooler and flash chamber. So after expanding to the flash chamber pressure, here actually actually you can see at 8 this is inside the dome, means some part is liquid, some part is vapor. So this is a mixture of liquid and vapor. So if the mixture of if the refrigerant coming from the expander valve, if the refrigerant coming from the expander valve was completely liquid, completely liquid or a dry saturate, sorry, if the refrigerant coming from the expansion valve was completely saturated liquid, means it would have been at this point. It would have been at this point, means it is saturated liquid only, but this point means it is a mixture of liquid and vapor. If the mixed refrigerant was at this point, means you could achieve a refrigerating effect of this much refrigerating effect could have been achieved. That means you can improve your COP. But since the point is here, since the refrigerant coming from expander valve is at point 8, it means you could achieve only this much refrigeration effect. So you are missing a chance to increase your refrigerating effect. So that is why I am using, we are using a technique called, a device called flash chamber. So what is happening in flash chamber? So since the refrigerant is a mixture of vapor and liquid, this flash chamber will separate the liquid and vapor. The mixture is separated to vapor and liquid, and this vapor will move upwards to the high pressure compressor, and the saturated liquid will pass to the second expansion valve. So that is happening here. From 8, it gets separated. So the vapor portion moves to the high pressure compressor. So at high pressure compressor, the coolant, the stream coming from water intercooler, and this will get mixed. So that is happening here, and it is that isentropically compressed, and the liquid part moves. So this is the liquid part corresponding to 8. So corresponding to it, this is the saturated liquid part, this is the saturated vapor part. This saturated vapor part is mixed with the stream coming from water intercooler, and the saturated liquid part will get expanded in expansion valve 2. So in second expansion valve, it is expanded to even lower pressure, or that pressure is evaporator pressure, PE. So it is expanded to PE. So this is the pressure corresponding to evaporator. So it is expanded to a point called 11. So this is the 11. So okay, this is 11, and from 11 what happens? it it passes through evaporator coil. There you will get the refrigerating effect. So students, you should note that if it was not separated, if the vapor and the liquid is not separated using a flash chamber, then the refrigerating effect you would have got is this much only. But since I have used the flash chamber in order to separate the vapor and liquid, so that vapor moves to the high pressure compressor, and the liquid moves to the expander valve, you have achieved this much amount of refrigerating effect. So understand the fact that you have increased your refrigerating effect using the flash chamber. So flash chamber is a device which separates the mixture, the refrigerant mixture, the refrigerant vapor liquid vapor mixture coming from the expander valve 1 to vapor and liquid. So that is the purpose of flash chamber. So hope you have understood the idea of flash chamber. Okay. So you can see here. So how to calculate the COP and refrigerating effect and all. So students, what is refrigerating effect? Refrigerating effect is nothing but this is refrigerating effect, right? H1 minus H11. So what is the mass of mass of refrigerant passing through evaporator? So through evaporator you can see M1 amount is passing. M1 amount is passing. So M1. So M1 equal to, M1 plus M1 plus M3 equal to M2, right? So M3 is the vapor, the amount of vapor coming from flash chamber and getting mixed with the, sorry, M3 is the amount of vapor coming from flash chamber and getting mixed with the stream coming from water cooler, which is M1. So M1 plus M3 is equal to M2. M2 is the amount of mass passing through the high pressure compressor. M1 is the mass passing through the low pressure compressor or evaporator. So in this circuit M1, in this circuit M2. So from M2, M3 is getting bypassed and getting joined with M1 again to form M2. So this is how cycle works. So while we are calculating refracting effect, the amount, the mass you should use is nothing but M1 only, M1 dot. Okay. So M1 dot equal to M1 dot into H1 minus H11 will be the net refracting effect. Okay. So how to calculate COP? COP is nothing but refracting effect by work, right? So what is work? Work is this plus this, right? So work will be H2 minus H1. So what is the mass flowing through the first compressor? M1 dot, and second compressor M3 dot. So second compressor work is H5 minus H4, right? So this is H5 minus H4. H5 minus H4. Okay. So students, now we have to calculate M3 dot. Sorry, not M3 dot, this is M2 dot. Don't confuse, this is M2 dot, okay? Because mass flowing through the second compressor is M2. Now we have to calculate the value of M2. Or in order to calculate M2, you have to use M2 dot equal to M1 dot plus M3 dot. So you record M3 to calculate the value of M2. So in order to get the value of M2, you will have to use the free body diagram of or the control. You have to consider the control volume over that flash chamber. Flash chamber. So now I will try to show you the flash chamber, that energy change over the control volume over that flash chamber. Okay. So students, this is the free body diagram, that particular the flash chamber in a concentrated form. So I'm concentrating mainly on that flash chamber. So flash chamber, you can see to the flash chamber, you can see that what is coming to the flash chamber. The mass M2 is coming. Mass M2 is coming. Mass M2 is coming with an enthalpy of H8, right? So H8 with the enthalpy of H8, mass there is actually wait sorry, there is a small mistake in this figure. The states are not correct. Actually this should be 8. Okay, this should be, to compressor it should be 9. That is how we marked in this figure. So this is 9, this is 8, and this is 10. Okay, this is 10. After 10 it should be 11. So just please correct it. Okay, so this should be 7. Okay, from expansion, after getting condensed in the condenser, the refrigerant, liquid refrigerant passes through the expander valve and it gets expanded to an intermediate pressure PF. So P8 is equal to PF only. PF, intermediate pressure of flash chamber. So this the refrigerant entering the flash chamber consists of liquid and vapor. So the vapor gets separated and moved to the compressor for again compression in the high pressure compressor, and the remaining liquid will pass through the expansion valve, second expansion valve, and get expanded to the evaporator pressure. Okay. So students, using this figure you can write the heat balance equation. So what is the enthalpy of the stream entering the flash chamber? It is m2 into h8, m dot 2 into h8. Leaving this compressor is m dot 3 into h9. Leaving this stream leaving is m1, remaining is m1 into h10. So you can write that the total leaving enthalpy is m3 dot h9 plus m1 dot h10 equal to entering enthalpy is m2 dot h, actually it is h8 only, right? H8. So m3 can be written as m3 into h9. So this can be written as m dot 3 h9 plus m1 dot can be written as m2 minus m3, right? m2 dot minus m3 into h10 equal to m dot 2 h8, right? So rearranging this, so this h10 can be written as, so you can see from here. So this h10 is nothing but h of 10 itself. Okay, h of 10 itself. h9 and h9 you can directly get. h8 is h8's value will be h7. Okay, h7 itself, because that is isenthalpic process, and h7 can be h of 7 itself, or you can uh, assume it as h of 7. So this is h of 7. Okay, this is h of 10. Okay, h9 can be directly obtained. So rearranging this equation, you will get the value for m3 as m dot 3 as m2 h8 minus h of 10 by h9 minus h of 10. So instead of h8 you can use h of 7. h of 7. Okay. So this is the value for m3 dot. So using this equation, so m1 plus m3 is equal to m2, right? So m1, if you know the value of m1, and m3 can be, this is m2, and m1 you know, m3 can be written as m2 dot h of 7 minus h of 10, h of 7 minus h of 10 by h9 minus h of 10 is equal to m2. Okay, so from this equation you will get the value of m2. So you can get so if you rearrange this, you could get a value of m2 if all these four enthalpies and value of m1 is known. So that is how you solve that is how you would find the value of m2, or the value of mass flowing through the second high pressure circuit. Usually in the questions and all, if a numerical question problem is given, the value of mass flow rate of refrigerant flowing through the low pressure circuit m1 will be directly given. But in order to find the work, not to find the work, you may require this value of m2 dot. So in order to find the value of m2 dot, you may use this equation. Okay, so hope you have understood this particular. So you should be able to differentiate between flash chamber and a liquid intercooler. Okay, in the first case, in the first type, we have studied a particular system where two-stage compression is taking place with the help of a liquid intercooler, and in the second case it was water intercooler, liquid subcooler, only. In the third case, water intercooler, liquid subcooler, and a flash chamber. So you should be able to differentiate between flash chamber and liquid intercooler, and you should be able to draw the pH diagram. The pH diagram will be different for all the three different cases. Okay, so be sure how all these three different cases are different in mechanism from each other. Okay. So another possibility is that you may not be given with m1 if m1 dot is not directly given. Okay, students, m1 dot is not given in the question. Okay, suppose total refrigeration effect is given in ton, some q tons. So using this you can find m1 dot. How? Because q tons is equal to q ton will be equal to m1 dot into h1 minus h11, right? So h1 and h11 may be available in the data given. Okay, so q is also given, m1 dot will be equal to q in ton. So if this is given in ton, you multiply it with 210, so it will become in kilojoule per minute. So if h1 minus h11 will give you in kilogram per minute. So m1 dot in kilogram per minute will be obtained if q is given. So if m1 dot is obtained, you can easily get the value of m2 using this equation. Okay, you can get the value of m2 using this equation. So a lot of calculations are associated with this kind of problems. So if you are thorough with the concepts, then it will be very easy to crack. It will be very easy for you to crack all the different unknown situations. Okay. So with this, I will stop this particular session and see you in the next session.